Hey everybody, welcome to John Wayne Lied to You, the storytelling podcast featuring me, your good friend, pal, confidant, and part-time lover, John Wayne. Man, I am very, very excited today. I am fresh home from Scares That Care convention in Virginia, the sweltering hot I forget what it's called. Williamsburg, I think. Yeah, Williamsburg, Virginia. Yeah, they've got old timeyville there, and importantly, they had the roadway in there, which was very important to me. But most importantly, they had Scares That Care, and I went, and that was the first time I'd ever gone. And what it is, if you don't know, it's a horror convention, not horror convention, horror convention, featuring all kinds of vendors with horror stuff of movies, masks, crazy weapons, smoke bombs, and books, lots of books. And that was why I was there. A lot of writers were there. There were some celebrities from horror things, and but what Scares That Care is they donate all of their proceeds to charity. They help out a certain amount of families every year that are unfortunate or misfortunate people, and they take care of them, and it's an awesome event. And I went with the Grindhouse gang, so I have to say big thank you and shouts out to Carrie and Andy, aka CV Hunt and Anderson Prunty. I was there with them, and they were amazing to hang out with. We kind of fell right in line, like we were just best friends ready to do karate in the garage after just mere moments of speaking to each other. So thanks to those guys, and I helped out at the booth. We sold a bunch of Grindhouse books. I saw so many people that made me so happy and filled my heart with such a gooey, gushy, killer amount of love goo spurting out from all of my orifices directly from my heart due to these people being there. It's too many to name. I know I'm going to forget, but I got to say special shouts out to David Barbie. He was there with us at the Roadway Inn when we almost took the house down. You know what I'm talking about, my friend. We'll just keep that for a story for another time. But, of course, this convention is run, one of the main people running it is Brian Keene. It was awesome to see him and talk to him. He did a great job putting together all that convention and everything that went with it. Of course, John Skip, my main man, helping me out and hanging out, being just an awesome dude. And everybody else that was there that I met, Scott Cole, Adam Cesar, I don't even know, everybody. Oh, and also a big what's up to a fellow podcast brother, Mr. Frank Edler. You may know him from the Bazong podcast, the podcast for bizarre and weird fiction that also comes out every Monday, like John Wayne Lied to You. So there you go. When you get done listening to John Wayne Lied to You and you're sad because it's over, you just pop on over and listen to Bazong, and Mr. Frank's talking to one of your favorite Bizarro writers, and it's awesome. But it was great to see him again. That's one of those things where I've actually never seen him. I've never met him, but we've talked on the phone. We've done an interview, and to meet him and have this person in front of you and shake his hand and put the name with the face, and it's a non-digital form, and it's just awesome. It was just great to see these people and make these like true, real connections through the human connection of skin, touching skin in a consensual way that is or is not sexual. I don't know, but I had a great time at Scares That Care, so I'm very, very fired up about that, guys. Anyway, like I said, welcome to the show. This is a podcast where I tell stories from my life. I know that it's called John Wayne Lied to You, but once again, I will say all of these stories are 100% true and from my fucked up life, my La Vida Loca, like we said earlier, Ricky Martin, R.I.P., Menudo, all that. So, also, guys, what's going on is, I talked about this on the last episode, but my new book came out last week, a collection of 12 stories called John Wayne Lied to You, a mostly true account of the adventures of a modern-day hero. Now, I know you're saying, This is that the pod. This is what the podcast is. What is it? Yes, my friends, you're drawing all the right connections. You're putting all of the pieces together. John Wayne Lied to You is 12 stories that I've written throughout the last 4.5 years. I've written for Grown Up Storytime here in Houston, put on by the great and powerful Boo Town. And I've probably had about 50 stories published through them, and I took 12 and put them in this collection, and there you have it. So it's creative nonfiction, stories about my life. Please, 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 oh please, please, won't you buy me a copy of John Wayne Lied to You? Available now on Amazon or at the Rooster Republic website. I'm sure it's .com or something, but you have Google and you're smart, and I trust that you can figure it out. Today, we're going to tell a story about my freshman year in college. The feeling of invincibility that often comes with the newness of independence and youth, exuberance. You can take on the world until you realize that you can't really take on anything. So we're going to go all the way back to my freshman year in college at Sam Houston State University. Eat 'em up, cats. Meow. This story is called The Not So Great Escape. When I went to college, I went to Sam Houston State University, which is I think it's a smaller university in Huntsville, Texas, which if you're unfamiliar with, it's about 50, 60 miles north of the city of Houston. And what Huntsville is known for, besides having a university, is prisons. They have lots and lots of prisons in Huntsville. This story is not about prisons, but, well, you know what? Let me not get ahead of myself. So here I am in Huntsville, Texas. I'm a freshman in college. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And I'm living in the dorms, but not really the dorms. I lived in this house. It was called Krager House, and it was also like it was in a parking lot with 3 other 2-story, like small houses type things, and they called them wellness houses. The reason was because this was the furthest away from campus student housing that the university owned. And the original point was having those where athletes were supposed to stay in those, and then you had to walk up, like no shit, you had to walk up 2 hills to get to the goddamn campus from there. Up 17th Street. What's up? Big up 17th Street. Yeah, so of course no athletes live there. Athletes, fucking had apartments and drove cool cars and banged cool chicks, and I don't know what they did. I wasn't an athlete. I'm not even a sportsman. But anyway, I lived in, I could not have, like, lucked out better. Like, this worked out so well. It's a 2-story dormitory, I guess, with maybe about 15 rooms. That's it. And it's co-ed. So you have, like, between 20 and 30 people living in each of these houses, and you get to know each other really well, really fast, and it was very cool. I'm very lucky to have had that as my housing at school, because I only lived there for my freshman year, and then after that, I wised up and got an apartment, because I wanted to drink beer and get pussy, neither of which happened with an apartment, so, I had it all wrong. Maybe I should have stayed in the dorm, I don't know. But anyway, I was, at this point, I guess I'm 18 years old, and I'm fresh into my dalliances into marijuana. It's maybe only been about a year or so since I've even started or tried smoking, and moving to college really helped push that along into hyperspeed, if you will, because I fell in with a bunch of cool guys who are, a lot of them still my friends today, and we kind of figured out, like, kind of, you you just kind of pick up little signs here and there, and you're like, oh, you smoke, you smoke. And it worked out well. One of them was my roommate. Now, I know my old roommate from Krager House does listen to this show, and I'm going to use his name because he's an awesome dude. Ryan, what's up? Shouts out to Ryan. Ryan was my roommate. No last names, though. See, I'm professional. He also smoked, and then I had my sweet mate, my buddy Adam, no last names. Still a very good friend of mine today. And we're all just kind of like, the three of us and some other people that we knew from other dorms, we all smoked, right? But we had like the best thing about this living situation that we had, besides it being awesome and small and close knit, was right behind our dorms, behind our houses, was a soccer field. And it was like an old practice soccer field, right? That they didn't use for anything now. Maybe like intramural sports or whatever, however the fuck you say it. You know, just fucking dumbass teams that, you know, have nothing else to do and pretend they're playing flag football. And then the band would practice back there, which kind of sucked if you stayed for the weekend, you know, because Sam Houston was known as what's called a suitcase school because we were so close to the city. A lot of people just like jetted out on the weekends and went home. But if you stayed, like, you'd wake up to the band practicing right at your window and shit. But what was awesome about that soccer field was it was mostly vacant, and there was many shrubberies and overhangs and like weird little alcove bathroom things and stuff where you could just smoke, and it was right behind our house. Like, we literally had to walk up like a little, you know, sidewalk going uphill about 10 feet, and then we were in this magical land of hide and seek from everybody. So that became like our regular smoke spot, and it was great. It treated us well. Several times a day, every day, until one night we get a call in the room, to our room, Ryan and myself, from one of our friends who lived in another dorm across campus, who said he just got a new bong and he wanted to try it out. Well, far be it from us to keep him from doing this. And, you know, we of course wanted to support our friend. So we said, you know what, we'll stop what we're doing. We'll put our lives on pause. Why don't you come down here and we'll help you break in this new bong because we care about you. So he comes down to our room. Another friend comes with him. So now you've got the three of us, myself, Ryan, Adam, these two other guys. We'll call them Matt and Theo. And we take this bong, which is just, it's like a plastic purple, small, you know, pistol grip bong, you know, with a kind of, you know, average metal bowl on it. Your typical, you know, probably $15 headshot buy, but, you know, it was still fucking cool. We didn't have a bong. We were smoking joints and shit, so we're going to smoke this bong. So we walk up to the soccer field. Now, another cool thing about this soccer field, if there could be anything else, was that it had stone bleachers, like old school stone bleachers. And so we decided, instead of seeking the darkness and cover and refuge that we usually take, we decided we're going to sit in the bleachers and smoke. Now, it's dark out. It's late, not super late, but like probably like 9:30. It's dark. So we sit in the bleachers, and we start smoking this bong. We're passing it around. And then we look up across the field to where there's on the other side of the field, past our houses, there's a parking lot that leads into the field where I guess people would park when they used to play games there. And we see a car pull into that parking lot slowly. And then that car hits us with a spotlight on their window, from their window onto the bleachers, which quickly alerted us that was not just a car, it was a cop. So, being the able-bodied, logical thinking, even-tempered group that we were, we all ran in separate directions. Just immediately ran. Just fucking ran. I think we all had brought our own little baggies of weed, like just, you know, like a few buds a piece to put in to put in the bong. So we have them like in little, like, you know, cellophane or a little saran wrap or whatever. We all like run different directions, all toss our weed, and it's just like pretty much every man for himself. So then the cop, of course, hits the lights, when he sees us all running, and I wasn't as fast as like two of my friends. I think it was Ryan and maybe Matt, and they bust out through the hedges onto the sidewalk, take off down the fucking hill way before I even get to the fucking hedges. I finally get there. I get out on the sidewalk. I see that there's two cops that were chasing up, coming up the hill at us, but since Matt and Ryan had blasted down the hill faster, they blew right by those cops who had now turned around and were running after them, did not see me come out of the bushes. So I start to run down the fucking hill. I hear someone come crash out behind me. I think, great, it's another cop. I turn around, it's Adam. Adam's wearing fucking flip flops because what did he wear then? Those things they wear at the Lilith Fair, that those Birkenstocks. Yeah, he was wearing those. Can't run in those. So he's running. He's like, wait, because he's my suite mate. So we live in the same house. So we tear down the hill. He's trying to keep up. We get to the back door. I open the door. We run up the back steps. He goes to his room. I go to my room, shut the door. I shut the door. I turn off the lights. I take off all of my clothes. I take those clothes and I put them at the bottom of my hamper. I actually arranged dirty clothes on top of these clothes I just was wearing. Then I get in the shower. Not to take a quick long fucking, treat myself shower. Just a quick shower. Get my hair all wet and get out. I put on like some old shorts and like a fucking nightshirt or whatever. Fucking nightshirt, I don't know. Shirt. And I'm sitting in the room with the lights out. And I just kind of go over to the blinds at one point and I open them a little bit. And I can see the soccer field, like I said, that's like right behind our window where we hear the band, practicing. There's now a police car parked on the field right there by our windows. I'm like, fuck. So I'm sitting there. As far as I know, Adam's in his room, safe and sound. And there's a knock on the door. Not like hey, it's Julie from down the hall. Do you want to listen to records and talk about boys? No, this was a police knock, my friends, and I think we all know what that's like. So I kind of pause for a moment, open the door slowly, kind of give them a little bleary-eyed look, and kind of like hello, can I help you? Like I've been sleeping, right? Because I got the hair wet. Two cops standing there, two of Huntsville's finest, and these were some good old boys. And the one that's closer to the door says, "How you doing tonight?" I say, "I'm fine. What's going on?" And he says, "Have you been in your room all night, sir?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he's like, "All night you've been here?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "You haven't gone out at all tonight?" And I said, now I got to throw something else in. So I'm like, I went to the cafeteria to eat dinner, yes, but that was earlier. But since then, no, I've just been in here. He's like, "Okay, can I see your ID?" And I was like, "Sure." So I take my driver's license, give it to him. He looks at it, and he's like, "And you've been here all night, huh?" And I said, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." So I didn't notice this, but the cop behind him was holding down his CB radio. So it was transmitting everything that was being said through it, and he just kind of leans into it and says, "Did you get that, Sarge?" And he lets go and it's like, "Shh, yep, bring him down." I'm like, fuck. So they're like, "Come with us, please." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, what's this all about?" I'm still trying to play dumb, because I'm 18 and I'm at college, and this is what's going through my head. When we had first moved into the dorms, the first day you have a big house meeting with your RA, and they give you all these rules, right? And one of the rules that particularly stuck out to me was, if you are caught with any kind of drugs, illegal drugs, on campus or in your dorm room, you are immediately expelled from the school without a refund. No pass go, no collect $200, nothing, you're fucked. So now that memory just comes racing back to my head where I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to be walked out to this cop car and pretty much hope that they drive me straight to the electric chair and blow my brains out, because if I have to call my dad and tell him, hey, 3 months or 2.5 months after I've gotten to college, I'm expelled, and oh yeah, you don't get any money back. What time's dinner? It's just, it wasn't going to be good. That's when the fear really got me. So I walk down with these cops. We come down the steps, and there's like people in the common space downstairs, and I'm like, they see me with the cops, and they're like, oh shit, what's going on? Take me outside, walk me down the parking lot of the house to the road where everybody who was out there is lined up on the road with 2 cop cars and a couple other cops. Everyone except Adam, still in his room. Now, they put me in this line, and we're standing there, and I'm like, well, this is it. And the police, the boss, the Sarge, Boss Hogg or whatever, was just kind of like, why did you lie to my officers? And I was like, I didn't know what to say. I was just like, I don't know, sir. I'm sorry. He's like, I knew. He's like, I already knew you were here. You were with these boys. I knew it. Why did you lie? And I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. And he's like, you don't lie to my officers, boy. And I was like, yes, sir. And then he then goes on to tell us, like, now, he's holding the bong. He's like, I don't know why your friend Theo is so inclined to do such a thing, but he has taken the blame for this paraphernalia and has accepted the ticket. And since we found no other drugs or anything else on you boys, we're going to go ahead and let you all go, and he's going to take a ticket. But don't you ever run from my officers again. And then he goes into like this whole thing about how we could have been hurt and they could have been hurt and all this shit. But it didn't matter, because once he said that we were getting let go, I was like, oh my God. My mind was just like, yes. I'm not dead. And then all those things that you like promise God you're going to do in that moment, you're like, fuck you, God, I'm not doing shit. I got you again. Ha ha. But they let us go, and we were like so fucking relieved. But we all, made it a point to chip in on the ticket. Like, we took Theo to the courthouse. We got the amount. We all chipped in and paid it. He paid I don't think he paid any of it because he took the fall for us. But yeah, that was intense, because I thought, first of all, I got away scot-free, like I'm fucking John Slick Magoo here, just running and jumping and hiding from the cops. And second, I thought I was gonna get kicked out of school and killed by my father, and not mourned by my mother. But it didn't happen. I lived to fight another day. And that kind of put the fear of God into us a little bit. A little bit of we were spooked a little bit. Like, I don't know. We were like taking. I think we like to smoke the next couple of days. We like get in one of our cars and just drive like 10 miles away and to a park and like take 2 hits and jump back in the car and run. But that really lasted like a day and a half maybe, and then we were right back out in the field. But we just stuck to what we knew. We stuck to the nooks and crannies of our hiding places that were fine. That was our problem. We got too bold. We got too adventurous in it, and hubris brought us down. Like the gods, and we flew too high to the sun, too close to the sun on wings of wax. And that's what happens. Sometimes you just get bit in the ass by the Huntsville Police Department. But I appreciate them. It wasn't even Huntsville Police. It was the University Police Department. So you know what? Fuck them. Actually, I didn't learn shit. All right, so there you have it. The not so great escape. Ended up still working out in the end. So that was a fun time I had at Sam Houston, for especially even in that freshman year when I lived in the dorm. I mean, those houses were really fucking rad. Now I think that whole block has been torn down and they built brand new state of the art dorms that that are all like, I don't know, there's no gluten, and they all come with a merkin or something. I don't fucking know. Anyway, those houses are gone, and it's too bad because they were really fucking rad places to live, and I met a lot of cool people that I still know today. And so, to those people involved in that story, a tip of the hat to ya, and I thank you. And I thank you guys for listening to another episode. We're on the Mockingbird Network here in Houston. I'm happy to be a part of all those other great shows. Check out Honey, I Shrunk the Binge. You binge heads out there, I know you're out there. Ned and Cody are always killing it with that, of course, and Stacks and Relationship and Polly Won a Podcast, and just everything. The list goes on and on. And also be sure to check out my man, Mr. Frank's Bizong podcast, especially if you're into the bizarro or weird fiction scene at all. If you found me that way, then you need to listen to Mr. Frank's podcast. So thank you guys again. Remember to pick up my new book, John Wayne Lied to You. It's on Rooster Republic Press. You can get it from Amazon. Please, please, please help a brother out. Those trips to Virginia, let's just say they're not handing them out for free. Now, I did have a bag of PBR that was warm that I had to tie a hole in the bag twice because it broke, but you know what? I still drank all that beer. Thing is, please buy my book. Thank you guys. Be sure to go to johnwayneisdead.com for everything else that I do. Check out my reading schedules up there. Check out John Wayne is Dead, my awesome punk rock band schedule with my man Chris. And you can get links and everything. And also, like I here's something. I just changed my YouTube channel. So if you listen to this on YouTube, like that's a relaunch channel for me. But I've got my videos on there for my books, like the trailers that I've worked with some cool people on. My man Nick P, my man Austin Havican did some really great job on these videos, and I had to move them to this channel, and now they have like no fucking views. And I know that's weird and vain of me and self-conscious, but they're really funny. So if you haven't watched them, at least check them out and maybe give them a share or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, either way, thank you for listening. I am John Wayne, and I say good night.